They tried to shame her with lies. They tried to scare her with threats. But when fire touched her life, Amara faced the breaking point. This was no longer about love. This was war. Before we continue, don't forget to like this video, subscribe, and turn on notifications because part 4 will reveal the shocking end of a love story that defied everything. The threats had been whispers. The lies had been rumors. But when the fire came, Amara realized her enemies had crossed a line she could never ignore. It happened just before dawn. The neighborhood was still wrapped in sleep, the air cool and quiet, when a sudden shout pierced the silence. "Fire! Fire!" Amara shot up from her mat, heart pounding. She stumbled to the window, and her breath caught in her chest. Her kiosk, the small wooden stall that had carried her through years of struggle, the place where she sold her bottled water with dignity, was engulfed in flames. The orange glow licked the sky, smoke curling into the air. Neighbors rushed with buckets, but the blaze roared too fiercely. The wood cracked, bottles exploded one after the other, shards of glass raining down like sparks. Amara fell to her knees, tears streaming down her face. "No, no, please." She pushed forward, but strong arms held her back. "It's gone, Amara. You can't go near it." Her hands shook violently. That stall had been her pride, her survival, the one thing she had built with her own hands. And now it was ashes. Behind her, whispers started. They warned her. She should have listened. Nothing good comes from fighting the rich. Her chest tightened until she could barely breathe. In that moment, Amara felt the weight of everything. The shame, the threats, the fire. She buried her face in her palms and sobbed, her body trembling. That was when headlights sliced through the dawn. Tunde's convoy pulled up, guards spilling out, their voices commanding the crowd to move aside. And then he was there, kneeling before her in the dust, as if the world around them had disappeared. "Amara," he whispered, his hand gripping hers. "Look at me." She lifted her tear-streaked face, eyes broken. "I've lost everything. I am dragging you down. Maybe they are right. Maybe I should leave." For a long moment, Tunde just held her gaze. Then slowly, he sank lower, his expensive suit pressing into the dirt, his knees in the ashes. The crowd gasped. Neighbors stared in disbelief. A billionaire kneeling in the ashes of a poor girl's stall. Amara's lips trembled, her heart torn between despair and the fierce, unwavering devotion in his eyes. And for the first time since this storm began, she realized he would burn with her if it came to that. But deep in the shadows, watching from a distance, Ajoke's lips curled into a cruel smile. For her, this was not the breaking point. It was only the beginning.
The fire was meant to break them. Instead, it lit a flame inside Tunde that the elites had underestimated. For years, he had ignored gossip, shrugged off whispers, walked above the noise of Lagos high society. But now, they had touched what was his. They had burned the only thing Amara called her own. This time, he would not stay silent. Within days, his lawyers and private investigators began pulling strings in every corner of the city. Quiet meetings turned into secret recordings. Bank statements were traced, anonymous phone numbers unmasked, and then the truth began to spill. One by one, pieces of evidence surfaced. Screenshots of Ajoke's group chat mocking Amara and planning her downfall. bank transfers from Iyabo's account to the men who had vandalized Amara's home. A leaked voice note of Nkechi hissing, "If fire doesn't scare her, nothing will." Tunde released it all, not through gossip blogs, but through a press conference streamed live across Nigeria. He stood before flashing cameras, Amara by his side, her chin lifted despite her trembling hands. His voice was sharp, steady, every word cutting into the silence. For weeks, lies have been spread, threats have been made, and now crimes have been committed. These women thought power and wealth would shield them, but no one is above the truth. Screens behind him lit up with the evidence, screenshots, bank slips, voice notes. The crowd gasped, phones shot into the air, hashtags exploded online. By evening, the tide had turned. Where once Amara's name was spat in disgust, now it trended with fire. Hashtag justice for Amara. Hashtag expose the elites. Hashtag truth wins. In hidden lounges, Ajoke, Iyabo and Nkechi seethed. Their empire of whispers had been pierced by daylight. Their once flawless reputations stained before the whole city. But Ajoke's voice was ice as she slammed her glass onto the table. So he thinks this ends with tweets and press conferences? Her eyes burned with fury. No. If he wants a war, then we will give him a war. And as Lagos buzzed with vindication, Amara knew deep down the fight was not finished. The elites had been wounded, but not destroyed. And wounded enemies are the most dangerous.
The city roared with scandal. Ajoke, Iyabo, and Kechi's names flooded every blog and broadcast. Invitations to exclusive events were quietly withdrawn. Contracts slipped through their fingers. Their faces, once worshipped in society circles, became symbols of disgrace. But humiliation was not enough for Tunde. He wanted finality. So one evening, he walked into the very heart of their territory, the private club on Victoria Island, where the city's elite gathered under dim chandeliers and velvet curtains. His entrance froze the room. Glasses paused mid-air. Conversations choked into silence. Ajoke sat at a corner table, Iyabo and Kechi flanking her like queens clinging to a crumbling throne. Their eyes narrowed as Tunde approached, every step echoing across the polished marble floor. "You dare show your face here?" Ajoke sneered, her voice carrying. Tunde didn't blink. "I came to say this once. Whatever hold you thought you had over me is finished. Your lies, your threats, your fire, all of it ends tonight." The room buzzed with whispers. Men shifted uncomfortably. Women leaned forward, hungry for the drama. Iyabo laughed bitterly. "You think the city will forgive her? She is still nothing, a hawker pretending to be queen." At that moment, the doors swung open and Amara stepped inside. Her simple gown contrasted with the glittering dresses around her, but her presence drew every eye. She walked straight to Tunde's side, her head high, her voice steady despite the tremor in her hands. "You are wrong," she said, her words slicing through the air. "I don't need to pretend. You fear me not because I am poor, but because love made me rich in ways you will never understand." A hush fell. Even the chandeliers seemed to hold their light. Ajoke's lips curled, but the smugness faltered in her eyes. For the first time, it was she who looked cornered. Tunde took Amara's hand and raised it for all to see. "This is my choice. This is my life.
And if any of you still think you can destroy it, know this: we are no longer afraid." The room erupted, half in applause, half in murmurs of outrage. But for once, it was the elites who shrank under the weight of the crowd's gaze. Their reign of fear had cracked, and everyone knew it.
The showdown at the club sent shock waves through Lagos. For the first time, the untouchable elites were not feared, but mocked. Clips of Amara's words spread across social media like wildfire, replayed in living rooms, salons, and bars. "You fear me not because I am poor, but because love made me rich in ways you will never understand." It became a chant, a rallying cry. Hashtags trended in her honor. Hashtag love made me rich. Hashtag Hawker Queen. Hashtag Amara the Brave. The tide had turned. Contracts began slipping further from Ajoke, Iyabo, and Nkechi's grasp. Their businesses stalled. Their invitations dried up. The women who once laughed behind jeweled fans now turned their backs on them, afraid to be tempted. Meanwhile, Tunde struck back not just with evidence, but with boldness. At a grand charity gala held weeks later, the ballroom glittered with lights, cameras flashing in every direction. It was the perfect stage for the elites to reclaim power, but instead, it became the stage of their final humiliation. As the crowd held its breath, Tunde walked onto the stage. His suit was sharp, his presence commanding, and then, with deliberate grace, he extended his hand. Amara stepped forward. The room gasped. She wore a simple gown once again, but she carried herself like royalty. Every step echoed the strength of someone who had endured fire and refused to break. Tunde pulled her to his side, turned to the cameras, and declared, "This is not scandal. This is not shame. This is love, and I would rather lose every coin in my empire than lose her." The hall erupted, some in cheers, some in gasps. Phones lit up, reporters scrambled to capture the moment. And then, before thousands of eyes in the ballroom and millions watching across the country, Tunde knelt. "Amara," said, voice steady, gaze burning with devotion, "will you marry me?" The world seemed to stop. Amara's hands flew to her mouth, tears spilling down her cheeks. She nodded, whispering through trembling lips, "Yes." The crowd roared, the cameras flashed, and in that moment, every lie, every threat, every cruelty melted under the weight of love too bold to be silenced. Beyond the flashing lights, in the shadows of the city, a storm was still gathering because Ajoke and her allies had lost their power. And people with nothing left to lose are the most dangerous of all.
The wedding was unlike anything Lagos had ever seen. Not because of the wealth, though the convoy of cars stretched for miles and the hall was dressed in gold and whites. Not because of the guest list, though dignitaries, celebrities, and even foreign press crowded in to witness. It was because of the bride. Amara, once a street hawker, selling gala and water in traffic, now walked down the aisle with her head high. Her gown was simple, yet radiant, stitched with the dignity of her journey, glowing brighter than any diamond in the room. Whispers rippled through the crowd. "She's the one?
From the gutter to this? But when they saw the way Tunde's eyes never left her, their whispers faltered into silence. At the altar, he took her hands, his voice steady. From the first day I saw you, you gave me something no fortune could buy, peace. And today, I vow to give you everything I am for the rest of my life. Amara's tears sparkled as she replied, her voice trembling but strong. They called me nothing. They said I was not enough. But your love taught me that I was always more than they could see. And I vow never to let fear dim the light we built together. And when they kissed, the hall erupted. Cheers, applause, camera flashes painting the moment into legend. And outside, in the very place where Amara once sold her bottles of water, Tunde unveiled something more lasting than any wedding gift: the Amara Foundation. A rebuilt kiosk transformed into a training center for young women like her. A place to turn survival into opportunity. The city mocked her. The elites tried to bury her. But in the end, her story rose higher than their laughter. Her name etched into the heart of Lagos forever. For Amara was no longer just the girl at the traffic light. She was the woman who proved that love, when real, outshines money, status, and even fear itself. And in the end, they learned the truth. Power fades, beauty fades, wealth fades, but love, the kind they mocked, was the only thing strong enough to endure. And that love, born on the streets, written in fire and tears, became a legend whispered for generations. And so, from the traffic lights of Lagos to the grandest halls of the city, Amara's journey came full circle. She began with nothing, mocked, threatened, and nearly destroyed. Yet in the end, her love not only survived, but transformed everything around her. The elites who tried to bury her were forgotten, but her story became a symbol, proof that true love, no matter where it begins, can outshine money, power, and fear. Did you enjoy this story? Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to African Stories Central, and turn on notifications so you never miss the next tale of love, betrayal, and destiny. Because more powerful stories are on the way.